Corona times. Let's talk poker. I talked in earlier videos how I track my stats using the Poker Tracker, Poker Income app. You can use any app, and if it has export function, you will export that probably in a comma delimited file with extension that's .csv, and that file can be opened in Excel. I'm using examples of my Poker Tour Season 1 from last year. The trip started about May 1st when I left Las Vegas and went to Palm Springs. First sessions I played there in Aqua Caliente Casino. Several days later I went to Pechanga, Lake Elsinore and San Diego and stayed there probably almost the whole month, playing in Jamul, Sequan and Oceanside. Then I continued to LA. Stayed in LA 5 weeks, full 5 weeks, playing mostly at Hustler and Commerce. Also played a couple of sessions at, I think 3 times I played at Hollywood Park and only once in Hawaiian Garden. That was a profitable month. And then I left about after 4th of July, I left LA and went north. First stop was Ventura. Next, went up to Chumash on Highway 101 and continued going north towards San Francisco. Met some nice people in some small card rooms with only one table. You saw the videos. If you didn't, please go back and watch those videos. Good adventures. And then in San Francisco, I stayed a week. I played there at Lucky Chances and continued north, again meeting some smaller poker rooms with only 1 or 2 tables. By the time I made it all the way along the coast to Seattle, I played probably over 30 card rooms. I played several sessions at Tulalip Casino, which is really nice place, but November 1st last year they closed the poker room. I continued trip and played a couple times in the Vancouver, British Columbia, so I made it to Canada. And there's a blog about that. On my way back, I stopped in Portland, played at Portland Meadows, nice place. That's more like a club, it's not casino. And then went down on Highway 5 to Eugene and towards California. Played again several small rooms with low-stake games, and then I made it to Thunder Valley, really nice property, big, beautiful. From there went to Reno, stayed at Reno, played at Run It Up Reno. They slaughtered me there, came back, played at Stone's Gambling Hall. Just a week after the scandal broke, when they discovered that Mike Postal is cheating. Next thing was playing a little bit in Bakersfield and coming back to LA. That was the trip. 6 months, May through October. So all that from Las Vegas to San Diego, up all the way to Vancouver and down back to LA, that took about 5,500 miles. And I used about 760 gallons of gasoline and paid for it $2,600. Making 7.5 miles per gallon with my vehicle is not really profitable trip arrangement. So any app that you're using offers some reports and graphs. There's much more you can calculate and analyze the numbers. So once you export the data from the app, you can open it in Excel and create your own graphs, charts, tables. I'm going to show you just how you open it, and then I'm going to show you my results because I cannot spend 2 hours creating the sheet. The most important is how to open it. Well, That is really simple. You find the file on your computer and just make sure it's CSV file, comma, separated value, and double click on it. It opens in Excel. This is just now raw data from your app. You can sort it so it's in the order. Like I said, I started May 1st. I left Las Vegas, made it to Palm Springs, and immediately played in Agua Caliente. There are a couple things you have to maybe adjust. Look at the column E. It's playtime. Playtime is difference in hours and minutes between end time and start time of the session. And it's in format hour and minutes. To convert this, and you create new column here and call it, let's say, hours or hours played, and use the value from that column, multiply by 24, and apply format to that cell. Make it to be number, decimal number. It's enough with one decimal point. So here it is 4.7 hours. Copy this cell, apply to the whole column, and now when you're referencing hours played, you use this column. You're not going to use this playtime. Divide dollars with this, gives you hourly rate. So I'm just going to call it rate, hourly rate. Hourly rate is your profit in column M divided with hours played, gives you dollars per hour. $159 per hour. Well, is that really true? Well, think about it. We played 4.7, let's say even 5 hours. I mean, 746 profit divided with 5, that's about that, 550 per hour. So that is really excellent win. Now, copy again that cell all the way down. So you have to recreate some of these calculations that didn't come from the app, but it's based on data that's in the app. And then you mark all these cells that are populated and click Insert tab, Table. So we're going to convert this text format table to Excel table, which is like object that has properties. So this is the range where the table is, that's all that is marked. It says my table has headers, which is the first row with the column titles. Click OK, there it is. The moment it became blue, it's regular Excel table, which is different than previous one, which was just data typed on the sheet. Here it says table 1, it's first table that you created, but you can name it, you give it a name, so then you refer it with a meaningful name. So you're going to call that stats or poker stats. What else can you do now? So now I'm going to show you just on one example. We go on Insert, Pivot Table. It says Table Range. Well, table range is the whole table that we named stats. Press Enter, OK. Here it is the table. What you want to see there? Let's say to see how many sessions did we play. Start time is a date. So once you click on that, it gives you by month, and if you want to count how many times you played, you use that same, because that's the session, and you put it in values. It immediately shows you as a count. So May, I played 20 times. And if you click here, expense, it shows you the every time. You see, I had like 2 sessions on 30th. On some days, I had 2 sessions. Same thing is using you can add to this now, profit. So here it shows you can even put a format on that. So we know it's dollar amounts. So here are my profit per month. And based on this, so I played so many sessions And based on this, now you can make a chart. So you highlight the data and you go to insert and make a chart. There are even recommended charts based on a data type. Excel can recommend you, but you know what you're doing, so you go your own chart. And it can be horizontal or vertical. So because data is in rows, let's make a chart like that. So that's a quick tutorial for you how to do this stuff. And I show you one that I created that talks about my poker tour season 1. 6 months on the road, 5,500 miles, almost 1,000 miles. I visited 38 casinos. Here are some counts. It's again based on the table that I show you how to create. This is the total, May through October. I started May 1st by playing at Aqua Caliente, had 2 winning sessions, had 2 losing sessions, but you can see here that I'm still up. Profit is up because winnings were bigger than losing. Going up, 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 and they had big drop here, almost $2,000 in 3 sessions, which is painful. But then next 3 days, I got that money back. And then you can see again, it happens. This was actually, I can tell you by the date, June 19. This was in Hustler. I played one really bad session in Hustler, and then I went to, same night, left Hustler, went to Hawaiian Garden, lost there also 600. Lost 1,200 at Hustler and 600 at Hawaiian Garden. You can see it's going all up and end up on about $11,000 for the trip. 6 months, that's close to $2,000 a month. Spend $2,600 on gas. This is not money you can get rich of. But you can think now, oh, that's the whole year, that's $24,000 if it continues like that. Yeah, maybe. And this graph is interesting. I created this graph to show the rate per hour. So when I started, first game, I played, you saw it, 4.7 hours and won $700, which gave me per hour $160 almost. Next day, I won even bigger. I played 4.1 hour, won similar amount, almost the same, like $2 more, but that was 180 per hour. So now when you look here on this graph, that's where we start. 160, that was the first win, and then we go to 180. Those 2 wins. And then huge drop, where what happened? This is amazing to study how the rate changes with first loss. Actually, it's not even loss. It's just a smaller win. Smaller win, 200, 186, number of hours played. Again, 4 hours, 7 hours. Can you imagine playing 7 hours and you win only $180? That's killing your rate per hour. And that is why I'm winning here. You can see that I am winning 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions in a row. And the rate dropped from 159 to 93. Then came the first loss, where first loss, it's always a murder. And even I continue winning, then another big loss, that's a killer. Now I'm down to $29 per hour and never went back. So that's just all defined in first 6 sessions. You can see in first 6 sessions, the rate is defined. Look at it. About $29, $30 stayed the whole year, and by the end of the year went down because of my big loss in Reno. So you can calculate all that, like I said, if you're interested. Now, let's see what we have here. So, I started May 1st. That trip took 177 days. For 177 days, I played 125 sessions. 125 sessions. Most of that is Hold'em, no limit. Twice I played High-Low Omaha, and once I played PLO. This is buying, cash out. You can see profit, made little profit playing PLO, but lost in high-low Omaha. In Hold'em, made $11,000. Tips, look at that. I gave for tips in 6 months, $1,180. That's almost $200 per month on tips. 200 is a big chunk. So how did I make 10% in tips? I am too generous, I think. I am too generous. I like tipping dealers. That's how they make their money. But when you see this, that's why I'm saying it's important tracking stats and everything that happens around the game, not just your wins and losses. So I played totally 531 hours in 125 sessions. That is about 5 hours per session, less, 4 hours per session, that's my average. I even don't like playing more than 3 hours. Out of 177 days on the road, I played 125 sessions. That is 70% of all days I played. That is more than 2/3 of all days I played. So 2 out of 3 days I was in a casino playing. Visited 38 different locations, different card rooms. Let's see what else I have here. So we already saw this monthly graph. This is pivot chart based on a big table we made. And monthly showing that the only negative month was October. You can see first 2 months it was about 2,700, first 3 months about 2,700 average. And then second 2 months, let's say 1,600 average, they're almost similar. And then October loss. And this is average of sessions played. I played 125 sessions. You can see maximum, the biggest number of sessions I played in June. I played almost every day while I was there hanging around the Hustler and Commerce. Minimum is 14, which was August and September. And then October again, enough sessions, 26. Maybe if I cut down the sessions, it would be a positive month. So locations are listed here in alphabetic order, 38 of them, and you can see various results. Top 10 locations by the profit. Also, number of sessions played there is a key. You can play at some location 1 hour, you're up $1,000. You can play at the other location the whole month and you're up only $50, or you're down 100. So hourly rate will tell you, do you have success at that location? Tulalip Casino that closed poker on November 1st, north of Seattle. Your best option in Seattle now are Red Dragon, which is on north side, or on south side, Fortune and Muckleshoot. So Tulalip, the most profitable location with $2,100. I played there 8 sessions, 28 hours, making $272 per session, which is not bad. It's a 300 buying game, so I double up and I leave. That's not really bad. Per hour, $78, that is magnificent. Anytime you make more than $20 per hour in 1-3 game, which is 7 big blinds, you are a professional on a level of professional players, because that's what their goal is. In 1-3 game, about $20 per hour. 2-5 game, it should be more. 30, maybe even 50. Because your goal is, let's say, 10 big blinds per hour. If you can make 20 big blinds per hour, you're killing it. You are killing the game and everybody at the table. So, 78 hours per dollars per hour is unrealistic for 1-3 game that I play. But you can see there, next one, Hustler, similar, but 28 sessions and 5 times more hours. This is almost 5 times more per session. Really much less, only 76. So a lot of wasted hours there. and only $17 per hour. Aqua Caliente, my regular victims, $94 per hour in 20 hours of play, 4 sessions. Players, that casino that's in Ventura, 6 sessions, I was there for a week, played 16 hours, which is not much, that's like 2.5 hours per session average, $226 per hour and $84 per hour. This is a good one. Next good one, Ocean's 11, always my favorite. Up $1,100, played twice, 9 hours. First day was 7 hours, next day was less than 2 hours. Per session, $567. Now that's a killer. $128 per session. The only better one than that is at Central Coast, where I pay, that's Pismo Beach. I played there with amateurs, it was amateurs night. I got them for $700. Played 5 hours for the session, $700 and $129 per hour. Those are good. So, bad locations. That's always interesting, and that's what you like to know. How big donkey I am. Well, here are the worst 10 scores per location, not per session, per location. Pechanga, the worst one, killed me. Stones Gambling Hall, in 1 hour I lost. No, actually, first 45 minutes I was down $700. They're cheating at Stones. Peppermill, 800. And these are only cash games, no tournaments. Pechanga number is better if we had tournament win I had there, but then Peppermill is worst when we had $400 that I paid for playing the mini main event. Look at those, minus 147 per hour, minus 400 per hour. But I played only hour and a half. Hour and a half, lost 600 actually, but that per hour is 400. Loss was 600. And these other losses of 300 and 150, that's nothing, that's like standard. You have to lose sometimes. Now, those are per location, top 10 per location. Now here, top 10 sessions. This is in profit order. You can see some nice numbers here. These are nice numbers. Look at this per hour, 325, 374. This is much better than a lawyer's rate. Now here are those bad, and this is what I told you. By the end of June and July, I had a couple of big losses there. So that's why. So my 5 worst losses, 5 biggest losses are from Hustler. But also Hustler has 4 big wins in top 10. So that's balanced. It's balanced, and that's why Hustler is on a second place with 2100 total. Why? Because wins were much bigger than losses. You see these 3 wins, 900 each, and one of 1500. That's huge. That's 5,000 there. These 5 losses altogether are 4,700. So that is why I have difference here, a much bigger win. Stones normally bad one in 45 minutes. Pechanga we already said. Lucky chances. I had one bad session there. I had one big that first day, big win. This was second day, big loss. So even for 2 days. Bay 101. If you watch video from Bay 101, I made 2 goofy mistakes. It's my fault. Not even cards, not even opponent. And we had one bad at Lele. Now, add to that this. We have here counts, discounts. They show the number of wins that are between $1 and $10 and $100. 16 times. I won between 100 and 200. 13, 11. So you can see that those are the most wins are in that range. The good, nice number, this is a nice number, between 500-600, so about 550, 570, 9 times. That is $5,000-6,000 there. Even this, 5-6, that is like 2,500 here in this. And then very rarely I win over 1,000. Why? Because I leave and I'm up 500. I leave. These are count of losses. So when I was down 100, 8 times, 17 times down between 100 and 200, which is excellent. And you can see really nothing over 1,001, stupid, that was a hustler. And most of this is count is 3, 2, and the only bad one is 6 times lost with between 6 and 700. That is when I lose 2 buys, 300 each. So, had a 75 winning session. Once I cashed out even. That was in Reading, I think. In Reading, yep. And lost 49 times. So 75 out of 125 sessions give me 60% winning rate, which is, you think it's not much? No, 60% is really, really, really good. And most of you can wish 60% winning rate. Also, the key is not about the number of wins you have. The key is to control your losses. And that's why I'm saying this, 8 and 7, these 25 times that I lost about 100, 200, 150. This is the key. This is when I'm saving money. I'm not losing big. So this is when I'm saving money. Even these little bigger amounts, this is beautiful. 3 times lost 300. That's 3 times lost 1 buying. And another 3 times lost 2 buys. This is what I don't like. Still not big number, it's okay. 125 sessions. That's like 5%. So as you can see, I really had fun. I really had fun on that trip. And success. Put in a pocket 11,000. Spent 2,600 on gas. Met so many people. Visited 38 poker rooms. Played even in Canada. And I wish you could be there with me. But you watched my videos and you see that it's fun. So start planning your trip. It doesn't have to be 6 months. 2-week vacation. Make a little poker tour, South California. There's a bunch of casinos there. We'll go up to San Francisco and stop in every poker room like I did. You don't have to go all the way to Vancouver. So you can have fun. And I wish you do. And let me know if my trip inspires you to do something similar. For now, stay safe and I'll see you at the other end of Corona times. Adios.